Christy, as a conceptual artist and citizen science, my work is informed by the study of animal behavior and habitat. Since the late 1970s, I've collected and worked with discarded materials and considered its intervention and importance in the food web. The work is focused on the relationship of waste and the environment, exploring how we experience nature and how our perceptions are as much framed by images of waste as they are of wonder. I have come to believe that although the landscape is an ecocide, I have come to believe that although the landscape of ecocide is a sad place, it is also a place of rebirth. Today we live in an economy of forgetting, located somewhere in the twilight zone of the waste stream. If you can't reuse or repair an item, do you really own it?
Yeah. Right. It's true.
It's true.
I have a lot of items I don't own.
Okay. So, turning. Like I said, you might get a question again, but keep reading there. Okay. I'll read it. Open it. Can shrimp fly?
Ooh! Wow! What an interesting question.
I'm so glad I got that question.
Me too.
Could have gotten.
This is very Christmas.
Yeah.
So actually, these organisms are based on shrimp, which is, an arthropod. They're plankton, which fly around in the currents. They have no way to. They have no navigation of their own. Some plankton, like plants, some animals, never get navigation. They just float. And others, like crabs and shrimp, do get navigation. Maybe they sink or like a mussel attaches to something. But when it's plankton, which these are, they do fly because they have no control. So I actually had made these a long time. It was a series over a few years, inspired by the BP spill in the Gulf of Mexico, because the plankton, was just floating through the spill. And then, if you remember the Corexit chemical they put to make it all disappear.
Mr. Clean.
Yeah, which just got ingested by plankton, which then becomes the basis of the food column.
Right.
So I got really interested in all the different kinds of, the infinite kinds of plankton that exist. And largely, if you know what krill is what whales eat. And then, are we talking about this? I guess so. So there's a real disparity here between what happens on land. This is a plastic landfill. It's just a stock photo that you do see a lot on the plastics. I'm kind of a plastics geek, so I look at pictures of landfills a lot. And it's it comes up a lot. But with a digital person, we stretched it to fit a wall that it was in a previous installation somewhere. So it's more horizontal, I think, than the initial. But anyway, it's a plastic landfill, or like a graveyard really, because you can see that the types of plastic are mixed, which means it will never be recycled. This isn't a sorting facility. It's just going to be buried, and it is buried now. But there's all this life that happens in landfills, and that was kind of the connection to not only the microorganisms that can live in all these little pockets of air and water and dirt, but just the life around it that's attracted to it. So I was like this connection of living and dead things. Anyway, with the land and the water, I wanted, most ocean plastic does start out as plastic on land and it ends up in the ocean. So I think it's really important to connect the two. Okay, this one's, I don't think that counts.
Okay. So, letters.
Where's the rest of it?
start making art with junk stuff detritus?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what would the first thing have been. I don't know. Probably for a while, many decades. But of course, it's only detritus if you think it's detritus. For many people here, detritus is good stuff. So that's very subjective. I mean, that kind of gets to some of the ideas with this is the language of ecocide is extremely subjective, and things that we throw out do have a lot of life in them. And I love this concept of discard studies, which is sort of about learning about the waste stream and what is important, what's at the margins. And a lot of things are thrown out because they have value, like the American bison, for instance, or the Amazon rainforest. Discard has a lot to do with power structures. So I don't know when I started using detritus, I think that would be a powerful act to do when you were young.
Yeah.
But I really don't remember college, I guess. And I don't remember, they say if you remember the 60s, you weren't really there.
All right, last question. What is your phone number?
Oh my God.
What are your favorite colors and what do they mean?
I can't remember my phone number. So I always say my favorite colors are green, purple, and orange. And I don't know why I say that. I know they're the tertiary colors, but I just think that, and green is kind of everywhere in my world. I'm a greenaholic, actually. And I don't know what it means. It's visual, but obviously with found things, you don't control what you find, and you just kind of sort. I mean, I think anybody that works with like Suprina especially, when you collect and you have a lot of things, you have a vocabulary, and it's a lot about sorting as much as it's about constructing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And that's actually one fun thing with the show is that it's as much about deconstructing for all of us as it is about constructing.
Yes.
I think we sort of share that.
Okay, one last question from the audience.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you have formal study in biology or the oceans or anything, or this is just something that you picked up and have formed a self-interested study?
I just got interested in, like in this case, it was sort of the building blocks of life with the plankton. But, I think old biology books are so great. Before we had color illustration, it was just black and white line. And, when they actually needed artists to record scientific information. So I study informally, casually. I'm a citizen scientist, which means I love looking at stuff, And it's so much fun now. Actually, AI, as much as we love to hate AI, has really made research a lot more fun and interesting and faster. So no, not formally, but compulsively, yes.